2, 3, 4. Down to the VHS. VHS out of the VHS. It's the 18 of my business. Cause I was out of the house and doing stuff. No easy Wi-Fi revisions. And I guess that's the way it goes. Down to the VHS. VHS out of the VHS. Got no money, smoking crack, saving up for the Betamax. Down to the VHS. VHS out of the VHS.
Hello.
Greetings and welcome to Obscure Tape Time, the show where we watch VHS in their entirety and invite you all to suffer along with us.
From start to finish.
That's right.
We're really bright today for some reason.
I like it though,
I don't
because it means
understand why.
because we're not. Like, we feel dark in here and it's right there, which means we don't have to light ourselves in the face.
Yeah, we never really do that anyway, though.
No, we don't. We just sit in darkness. But
On the first
hey!
sub.
Nice. Just as the vagina's on the screen.
Perfect timing.
So, we took another week off last week. Unforeseen circumstances. What'd you get up to? Tell me a
Sick.
story.
Being sick, like, we couldn't do the episode last week because we had no one to take care of Jackson, and I'm not doing an episode with him here, like not yet anyway. He's just too young and needy,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't work.
Where in the future, when he gets a little older and of brain, we can just decide, oh, well, if he's staying home, we'll bring a cartoon over,
Yeah, exactly.
Plenty of those
Find
sitting
something
around.
to
Yeah.
watch with him. So, and then I planned to stream that Friday. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I would like to do something. And then Tori got very, very sick. And I thought I was getting very, very sick, but it turned out I was just really stressed out. And so for like pretty much until yesterday, I was just constantly being like, am I sick? No, I wasn't actually.
Oh.
But also I've been testing the waters with getting a special guest for cinema.
Ooh.
Pretty excited about it. It won't be much of an actual episode of commenting on things. It'll be more of an interview, but
Cool.
With basically unrelated shit playing in the background.
Are you planning to do that on a different day, or are you going to do that in one of the days that you're going to have off on next month?
I don't even know. Like, I'm testing the waters with the guest to see
Fair enough.
like what he's got going on and whether he can give up the time.
I got a guest for one episode.
He's a very busy man,
Ready to
so
go ahead,
it's. But we had a nice chat a few days ago, and he seems pretty open to working together, at least on a very minimal basis. So it'll be fun.
Secrets.
It's not even anyone that anyone's going to
No,
be excited about except for
hyping it
me,
up.
but I'm really excited at the potential of it.
Cool. Well, I chatted to Mew, and she's going to sit and watch some fashion with me one
Oh.
of the weeks that you're off.
That's going to be cool.
I'm not sure that I'm going to fill every week that we take off with cinema episodes, but one of them I'm going to have Mew on, watch some fashion stuff. Because I found while ripping some of my aunt's old tapes, which are just movies, if you just fast forward them, it takes 15 minutes to go. Now, there's nothing on that tape but a movie. Chuck it in the bin. There was one that had some TV on the end, and there was a fashion show that I looked everywhere on the internet for. It's nowhere.
Cool.
So yeah, it's a little bit rare, a little bit fun. We'll watch that.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I found out also that my web browser had turned off my spell check for some reason, and in the next 2 months of uploads, all got spelling mistakes I can't spell.
Awesome.
Do you know what day it is today?
Is it actually a special day?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Some VCR-based hosts you are. It is National VCR Day today. Well, it was yesterday for us, but we live in the future, and national because it's American. So it actually is today. It's National VCR Day today. Let's celebrate by watching some tapes.
Oh, yeah, right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't even have to worry about organizing anything because that's what we do, and it's on the right day.
But also, I feel like I've never heard of that before. So,
Oh, it's not like I looked it up. It came up on my feed of people that I follow. Lunchmeat have done a documentary about the first ever VHS VCR that was made, and are going to release the documentary on VHS. I want a copy. So they were advertising that today, saying that's the day today. But
then I'm gonna put out a little tweet being like, "Yo, it's VHS day. Get the fuck over here."
Go on. And once you've done that, I'm gonna take a nice big swig. I think we gotta start talking about what tapes. Twitch. Get in here, Twitch. Wonder if there's a VCR day tag. Probably not. It's probably something so obscure. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Oh, there's that too. Hey!
VCR, VHS every week, damn it. There we
Damn it! Except for last week. Tweet it.
They don't know that.
I also picked up some Sherry Temples and Lassie VHSs recently,
boy.
so I might be chucking those on while we're taking the break. I say taking a break because I'm probably going to fill it up. Hopefully, you wanna do the explainer of what we're watching today? Because I've got 4 tapes here. It's all of AFL.
It was last year we got them, right?
Yeah.
Last year we was during an episode. I can't remember what episode it was, but I mentioned that I was considering doing a joke bid on like 2 or 3 boxes of VHS tapes.
That's right.
And I was just like, yeah, but they're so far away. And then Bat was like, just do it. I was like,
Yeah, I'll go get them.
all right. So I did, and we ended up winning the bid for like a cent.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't want any money. Anyway, we drove out there.
Yep, picked up Chris.
Picked up Chris, because, you know, that's what you do.
Yeah.
When you're out his
Get
way.
in, loser. We're going to go get tapes.
Yeah. And then while we were there, we stopped off at a couple places and picked up a few more VHS tapes.
Oh, I love going out.
And by a few more, we picked up a lot.
Yeah.
We got a few hundred that day, all
We
up.
got 300 that day from this guy, and then another 100 or 2 from the op shops that we went to.
We have a lot of tapes just from that day alone. Like that one trip is, you know, is very much would be able to keep this show alive for years.
You should see my background of my vlogs at the moment, and just tapes piled everywhere.
It's genius.
Yeah. So anyway,
some of them, like the ones we got from the AFL boxes, were from one of the AFL coaches who used to be a coach.
yeah, we
back
thought
in,
they
like,
were
the
just going to
90s,
be
2000s.
tapes that were recorded off TV or something.
Yeah,
But
it turned out they were from the personal collection of one of the coaches. He was the coach of the North Melbourne Kangaroos through, I think, like the mid to late 90s, maybe even through the early 2000s.
Mhm.
And then he moved to Carlton in the mid 2000s.
Yeah,
I
Dennis
think.
Pagan.
His name is Dennis Pagan. I always knew him as that grumpy guy because he always looked really, really angry. Like always looked
Yeah.
like he was like puffing up like a puffer fish and like just getting real pissed off. Probably because like when he went to Carlton, he was losing all the time.
Or maybe because his wife kept taping over his official pure
Yeah,
feed
some
tapes
of them
with
have been
Oprah.
taped over, but basically like so we have all like the tapes that they would like give the coaches so they could review the matches and
Yep.
Because back then they would only get the one feed. I think today they get like all the cameras so they can watch individual players and that kind of thing.
So we
But
got the
back then
pure
they
feed.
just got pure feed, so it had the commentary and stuff over the top, and but it didn't have any of the ads. So
Except for the news break.
except for the news break.
Yeah.
But you can hear at certain points the commentators kind of talking about getting ready to start and or
About
shooting the
themselves.
shit, and
Yeah.
like it's quite funny. But today we're watching some.
We can go through and explain each video as we go. Just one of that little.
Well,
spiel.
yeah. So
The first video that I've queued up for us is a motivational. Motivational is kind of the tape that they put in just before they start yelling at all the players.
yeah.
Come on, boys, we're gonna do it today. Here, look at us do it the other day. And it's just some. Did you press record, by the way? Because this is gonna have some copyright.
Yes.
This is just some clips from players playing with some motivational music over the top. And it goes for absolutely no time at all.
Yeah. This one's not going to be particularly difficult to sit through, fortunately.
Oh, I brought
Unlike the previous
I
episode.
brought a couple of the longer tapes.
Well, I meant this tape.
Oh, this tape.
Whoa. I better get onto the right fucking thing.
Quick, before we have to rewind and watch it twice or something.
There we go. Wait.
Some people in some plastic things. That guy's got a tattoo on his face. He's hard. The what kangaroos? And there's the Nazi kangaroos. Is that what it said? New Zealand kangaroos? NZI. There's only one letter away from that being.
Yeah, you'd probably want to be careful with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Maybe they realised that.
Got rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite funny how Dennis Pagan went from being one of like the coaches that any team would have been grateful to have had to going to Carlton and no longer really being that elite. But at the same time, anyone with that list would have done terrible. Like there was no saving that team. They were just atrocious.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Thank you.
Basically, he went from good team that he built and turned into like a championship team to a team that had basically like not been maintained well, and they hadn't really recruited very good players,
Okay.
and were therefore kind of shit and were destined to be garbage for a long time. And if I'm not mistaken, they haven't won anything at all
Ever?
for a long time.
One of the ones that the grand finals they did play was when Diana died. You know that.
They would watch that one, imagine.
Yeah, they had a big thing. That's one of the episodes that actually is copyrighted and we can't put up.
Yeah.
But the bit where they sit and listen and remember Diana, that they can.
Oh, okay.
So that's like the bit I want anyway.
Carlton won in 1995. That was their last break, as they call it in the NFL. Can you take me a picture of the scarecrow?
The copyright machine I've been putting on pictures of every video.
Really? That makes sense.
Also, I'm going to cut out all the episodes and put them up separately, so I want the runtime as well.
Ah, righto. That makes sense. I mean, it's not like it's hard to find, but they do have it does cut to black.
Yeah, not the first episode. First episode doesn't have a title.
Oh, right.
The second one does.
I don't mind long takes when they're more like that one.
Yeah,
As painful as that one ended up being, but last episode's taste was literally the worst one.
yeah.
Ever.
And it turns out we had a cut down version. There was half an hour we missed out on.
I don't want to know about it. I really don't.
He released it under a different name because Reese has the other one. I could get it up there.
you not? Can we avoid that situation?
Well, me and Reese had an exciting conversation about it anyway. It's just interesting that this idiot went through and not only released that shit, but did it multiple times with multiple edits.
Yeah, so he can update prices on the bottom.
Yeah, but surely he would have been
Nope.
doing more than one.
That's how he makes money. Not, but by not having to go out and film a whole new thing and have it edited and...
Yeah, I just would have assumed he went to another seminar at one point or another and just left the account. Anyway,
Yeah, but...
that's last week's episode. Coming into this one, let's talk about people kicking balls. Hey, he did it. He kicked it.
Goal! I love how he turns to the umpire like, yeah, I'm already celebrating, you have to give me the goal.
Yeah, and he also did that thing where he was pointing with his crutch. You know how you do when you think you're being cool? And he was pointing his crutch right at the umpire.
Yeah, umpire, are you gonna dare? Are you going to dare to not give me this goal after I've celebrated like this?
Ah, bad touch. Ah, bad touch.
Ryan with play.
What is it with bad touches in anyway? Ah, do you feel motivated? Motivated to get on with
I
today's
feel
episode?
sore after the gym last night.
I mean, so did all the footballers that sat and watched that, but
Yeah.
this was taken in and shown to them before the match in 1995.
Yeah.
And now we have it, and we should be feeling motivated also. No,
I'm feeling more motivated at the fact we're going to have to watch that dickhead again.
That was 2 weeks ago. We can
And
drop it.
I'm still dealing with the emotional trauma.
We have so many seminars to sit through.
And how many of them are dickheads like that?
Most of them.
No, most of them are religious people.
They're all dickheads.
Yeah, but they're not dickheads like that guy. They're a different kind of dickhead.
Alright, well, the second video that I've queued up for today is
Oh,
one
we're going to
called...
learn some ruck work.
Do you know what Ruck Work is?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about it.
At the start of a football match, or after a goal is kicked, or when there is a tackle, which is where one player has the ball and another player comes up to them and tries to pull them to the ground. When that happens, the person who had the ball can't get rid of it
Okay.
and only kind of just got it, meaning there was no real prior opportunity to get rid of it. The umpire will throw the ball in the air.
Yes.
The ruck work is when two players go up to try and tap the ball out of the air to their player.
Oh.
That is ruck work.
I thought it was called the thrower.
It's the ball up, but then the
Ball.
ruckman is the player who, for that team, has to jump up and try and get the ball out.
Isn't a ball up something that happens that you didn't want it to happen?
It's like a cock up.
Oh. It's all but what you haven't mentioned is whether or not it's an art.
One could argue. I mean, everything is an art.
Well, this video says it's the art of ruck work.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna learn the art of ruck work.
Kind of defense, but it's like more often like just because it can be used offensively as well. It's situational.
Well, for the next 14 minutes, we'll learn about
Yeah.
it.
Basically, like at the first bounce, you're fighting for advantage, hoping you can get the hit out and hit it to your teammate. You can then, make a run for the goal or send it to another player, etc. Defensively, it would come into play, if you were defending, like if the ball is closer to the opponent's goal, that's what you would do.
Oh, we're such Aussie blokes today.
I know a little bit about footy. If this was like ruck work from 2004 onward, I would have no idea. The game it's a different sport to what it used to be.
Hello, I'm Simon.
Bye.
Welcome to
What's
this
up, mate?
Football Foundation Ruck Skills video. Some people think that ruck work consists
Ooh.
of two players running
have
at
a
each other
card.
to contest the ball.
Pause it.
If you think that football is made up of just 50-50 situations, well,
I want to listen to what he says, but there's a card in this one that says it's from Kevin Ian, the National Talent Manager, Game Development, AFL.
Uh-huh.
And it says on the back, Dennis, and we're talking about Dennis Pagan.
Yeah.
This is a copy of the Ruck video / Blah blah blah.
This is a copy of the Ruck video as discussed.
as discussed.
That'll be whoever sent it to him.
Which isn't that person.
Yeah. Jackal?
Bajackal Regimusness Keen. Reginald.
Reggery?
Bajackal Reginald Keen.
Okay.
So we got the actual business card of when Dennis Pagan received this,
Played a lot of
as I
football,
said.
and most of that in the ruck, realise there is much more to ruck work than that. There are actual skills, plans and tactics that can be put into operation to give you and your team a better chance of getting first use of the ball. This video
I'm wondering
has been developed
what
with the beginning
Ruckman
and
for
establishing
Carlton
ruckman
was
and their
so
coaching,
bad,
insights into ruck
or
life
North
to
Melbourne,
make them better players
that they needed to show him this.
and ultimately better team members.
Yeah. Someone gave Kevin this thing with a note for Dennis, and then Kevin gave it to Dennis. Then Dennis got the Ruckman and put him in a room on his own in the dark and said, "You watch this until you're not
There are many
terrible."
areas where a big man can exert his influence on the game. There are many expectations of his abilities. Of course, he should possess
I saw
high-level
Buddha.
skills in marking, kicking,
You
and
saw
handling.
Buddha.
But
Yeah.
also, he
I
should
must
have
feel
other
enlightened
equally
now,
important
right?
skills.
I
He
guess
should
so.
possess the mobility and decision-making powers to position himself correctly around the ground and in close contests. He should be a leader, a team man, and create a presence in a game through strength and controlled aggression with shepherding, bumping, tackling, and correct use of his big frame. He should know when to tap on, knock on, or
Why was he
punch
wearing
instead of mark.
stockings on his head?
He should be able to kick goals if
I
placed
do not
on
know.
or move to the forward line. And as we want to show you in this presentation, he should be able to exert his influence on the game through his ruck work.
Yeah, exert that influence.
Body
Here you
contact.
see Corey McKernan up against Barry Stanfield.
The idea of using your body in a centre bounce situation is to firstly protect yourself with your knee and your hand, and then once you've got a free tap, to hit the ball wherever you like. In this situation, he's used his knee and his hand.
Have a look again. He has his right knee up, right hand out for balance and protection, an early leap, and just a short, soft tap to a rover waiting in a prime position, in this case backwards.
While you're
He
there,
quickly gets the ball
gouge the
onto his
eyes.
boot, and the ball's out of the centre.
Just lift the knee up just so it's
Now
high
we have the
enough to
same
make
thing
contact
from
with the
the other angle
testicles.
against John Barnes of Geelong.
Notice that Corey McKernan again leaps with his right knee up, right hand out for balance, an early leap, gets the ride, left hand free, taps it short, and to a waiting player. In this instance,
Right in
well
the face.
smothered, but they did have first use of the ball. Right knee, right hand up early.
First
leap,
use of the
balance,
ball went straight into
and then a
someone
short
else's
tap
face.
to the waiting player. Excellent example of centre bounce ruck work.
Look how bad the frame
And
is.
just to show that it's
Frame
not a new
was back
technique,
then.
here's an older
VHS.
example of the same type of
Yeah.
ruck work. This time with the ball going forward. An early leap,
They're trying so
right
hard to
knee
show
up,
what they're
right
talking
hand out
about,
for
but then it
balance,
gets
protection,
blurry
body
when they do
contact,
slow mo.
and in this case, the ball going forward to a free player outside the inner circle.
Yeah, once again, the keys are the early leap to keep your opponent away from the ball, and once you've got the free tap, to hit it to your team's advantage. That is a sensational example, Simon.
I'm glad you said that. We'll be looking at
Can
is
we
centre
not
bounce,
have banter
the
on the
ruck
training
back.
video, please?
No, all the
to
bands.
safety and to
I'm
stimulate
glad you
the
said that.
opponent.
You're welcome.
We're pleased to have Corey McKernan, the 1996 Premiership Ruckman, to help us with these drills. We've seen the techniques in the games. Now here are some training techniques to practice. Corey McKernan, running, leaping early, getting his right knee up, right hand out for balance.
Is that a
and even
specific
without
ruck
the ball,
dummy?
Just practicing.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Ideally, ruckman should be able to jump off both legs and tap with both hands. So
You know what they
Once
should
again,
invent? A ruck
jumping
dummy,
off
but
his
with like different
right leg,
colours of where to
putting
hit
his
it in
left
different
hand-
areas
left
to
hand
be
on
able to
the
do
bag
different jump
and
moves.
practicing tapping with his right
Dacos
hand.
could do something about that.
Yeah, we could call it
The
the
next
Ruck
step is
Master.
to introduce
The
the ball
ruck
into the
master.
skill. Notice how Corey leaps off his left leg, using his right knee into the bag and high, right hand for balance, and just pushing the ball forward to the moving rover. From an overhead angle, we see the contact made and the drop of the ball.
Once again, jumping off the left leg, driving with the right knee, right hand on top of the bag, and just pushing the ball off its line to the moving rover. Here we have the training drill from a different angle, using a different tap. Once again, jumping off the left leg, driving with the right knee high, right hand out for protection, and he pulls the ball across his body with his left hand.
A smaller ruck bag can be used to simulate the movement of the opposition.
It is. They're called ruck
Yeah.
bags.
I wasn't kidding.
And there's
the technique.
not only one.
Once
There's
again,
more
Corey
versions.
jumping off his left leg, putting his right knee out, his right hand out, and with good extension of his left arm, pushes the ball away from his body to the moving rover.
Here we see the movement of the bag to simulate more match conditions.
Young Patrick Steinford moves in with the bag under the contest. Corey jumping in, right knee into the bag, right hand on top, hooking the ball across his body.
Leapers. Lovely lens
These
flare
players
there.
use their height, their spring, their timing, and full arm extension to win the tap to the advantage of their side.
You know, these days, that
Here we see
particular
Matthew
bounce there
Capuano
would have
against
been
Spider
redone.
Burton of the Dockers.
You see
Don't
both of them
redo things
trying
just
to
'cause
use
you
their
don't
leg
like
to
them?
get the height,
They do now.
full arm right up high
See how,
to
because it
keep
went
the
out of
ball
that
forward.
circle?
There is body contact there,
Sorry?
but it's not
It's meant to stay
controlled as in the
neutral.
first contests.
And you'll see that the ball is
And if
bounced
it
back
fucks up
towards
again,
him, so
then they
he's
have to
taking
just
the
throw it
advantage
out.
of a free hit
And they
and
kill the
goal with
umpire
centre half
because
forward.
he's
You'll
being
notice both ruckmen are using the hand on the same side of their body as their leading knee
favouring a
to try
particular
and get
team.
maximum height.
Look at him, he's celebrating.
Here is a good example of this technique. Matthew Clark from Brisbane leaping high with leading knee and hand, tapping the ball to a fast running player.
You'll notice it's just a very slight turn of the wrist to push the ball offline, and Chris Scott's got
They should
enough
have this kind
momentum
of music behind
to
AFL when
the
they
tackle
play it
of
on
the
TV.
halfback flanker running in off the line.
And you'll notice from this rug contest, they're going
This
to
guy
have a
running,
on
he's
their
the coach
forward
of
line
Geelong
because of
now.
a fast running player.
Oh. What about the guy playing
Once
guitar?
again,
Is that
the tapping
Pat
hand
Untitled?
on the same side of the body as the leading
No,
knee.
he's the
Full
coach
arm
of the
extension,
guitar
turning
team.
of the wrist, pushing the ball down to the running player. An excellent example.
Here's Damien Monkhurst showing the same type of technique out of the MCG. Forward to a running player. And
Can you imagine if, like,
almost a shot at
they
goal because
brought
of
a
that
rule like that in where it's like,
Once
the
again,
team has to
it's a
have, like,
straight leap,
a thing that
good
all your
arm
team is
extension,
good at. So it's
the
like,
leading knee and hand on the
kangaroos
same
all
side of
play
the body,
guitar.
And it's a push over the inner circle to a
I
running
mean, they
player.
kind of do have that. They're meant to all
I'll
be
look at
from
the
one
technique
place.
again. Leading knee.
St Kilda
bringing
are
the
all,
same side of the
like,
body,
Not from
medical
full extension,
students.
and in this case, a forward hit to a fast-moving player. Excellent play.
Here comes the
Another example of this
DMD.
style, Matthew Clark leaping high, bringing the ball inside this time. Watch, high knee lift, tapping hand same side of the body, short turn of the wrist, and dropping the ball short as well.
They should add sound
The player
effects.
running onto the ball.
They've already put a
Once again,
rockin'
time of the
soundtrack.
walk,
Yeah, extend
active, knee out, arm straight, just pulling the ball across his body to the waiting arms of Adrian Fletcher, who, although he does drop the original tap, gathers the ball and drives it into the forward line.
Here we have a drill to develop the coordination of leaping and tapping. The rover moving backwards throws the ball to the ruckman, who leaps and taps, and as the rover moves back again, the skill is repeated as they move down the ground. The ruckman is able to practice leaping off either leg and also palming with either hand.
Another nice lens flare there. Looks like it's
Here
been
you see
painted on
Pittman
canvas.
against Barnes. Great play from Pittman to put the ball back to his rover, who scores a goal. Watch as both players try and position their bodies to the front.
I like the long
John
sleeve
Barnes actually
uniform. That's
overcommits,
cool.
where Pittman really is able to stand his ground, then leap, and with a short tap, hit Rashudo, who's able to run towards goal and create a score.
I've seen
from
Rashudo
a
on
50-50
some of those
boundary situation.
footy talk
It's
shows that my
excellent
mum used to watch. And
Yeah.
he's the most, like,
I think the key here
boring
is that
sounding
Pittman does
person
judge
ever.
the ball a
He
lot
could tell you the
better
most
than Barnes
exciting
does.
story
Barnes
you've ever
overcommits to
heard,
the contest.
and you'd be
Rashudo
asleep.
unmarked, facing the
Not
goals
halfway
as a
through
prime
it.
target.
He's the most
Pittman
boring
just pushes
sounding
the ball back
person.
off the line. Rashudo turns onto his left, and
And he's
players of
named
that skill
after
will
that
kick a goal
salty
just about
ham they
every
put
time.
on fancy pizza.
Yeah.
Here's the great John Nichols making a scoring opportunity from the boundary line with a
Oh
long
God, look
the
at that!
dangerous position right in front of the goals.
Here we see John Nichols take
I've
front
got a
position,
partial match from this
time
time.
his run to perfection.
Sorry?
leap
I've
high,
got a
hook the
partial
ball
match
back
from
into the
this time
scoring
because I was
corridor,
playing on
where
Foxtel
Adrian Gallagher
Classic,
gathers the ball and has an easy shot on
one
goal.
of the tapes.
That's pretty rad.
Most important here is how Nichols gets front position with a very strong leap and a very strong palm, not a punch,
Whee!
Is
to the most
it the
dangerous
start of the end of
position
the match?
in front of
Oh,
goal.
I haven't looked into it that much yet.
A classic example from the great Polly Farmer, who, although caught behind, has better judgment, higher leap, and hits the ball across his body to the forward moving Goggin.
You'll see Mike Green here overcommits to the contest, while Polly Farmer has better judgment, and he times his leap perfectly. To push the ball across his body with his left hand to the running Goggin.
Notice how Goggin is running to position before he's even looked at Farmer, and then turns to watch the ball is tapped. So obviously great communication between the ruckman and rover, or even a set play.
Another example from John Nichols, where he hooks the ball across to Jezelenko, who runs in and kicks an easy goal.
Watch how Nichols, even though caught behind, has better judgment. With a very high leap, is able to put the ball across his body to the moving Jezelenko, who finished
Back
off
when
with the
footy
goal.
players were real men.
Yeah, and they
The following
had
drill will be able to see
mustaches.
the variation in technique used for the boundary line situation.
Oh, it was way better in the
From the match
70s.
conditions, we go to
They
the
all
training
smoked.
conditions for boundary throw-ins.
All playing.
Here, Corey McKernan makes position with his body, doesn't overcommit, bridges with his legs, uses the whole right-hand side of his body to keep his opponent away.
Before all these no
then leaps,
blood rules.
gently
And
tapping the ball to his waiting rover.
Another
I
variation
think the
of
blood
same
rule probably
technique,
came into effect
Corey
because of
McKernan.
AIDS.
holding out patch time
Because of
for
all
both
that
his
scare
legs
that
and
happened.
his backside, and
Yeah.
just pushing the ball
Fair
down to
enough.
the waiting rover.
The ruckman has to be able to tap the ball in all directions from the boundary contest, forward, to the side, and to the back. Here you'll see how the skills used previously are applicable
would've been redone.
in these situations as well.
Here we see Peter Everett using the opportunity
Sporter!
to step over
You
Simon's
know,
crochet
you know,
and tap the ball
Spider
into
Everett,
space.
he
When
played for a
Spider-
bunch of different teams.
He's the one with the curly hair, yeah?
Yeah.
Runs onto
Yeah, I
an
know.
easy
He
ball.
never won a premiership,
Again,
and a
we see
lot of
the
the
high
time
knee
he would
lift.
leave a team and then they would
Full
immediately
extension of
win.
the arm,
Oh, must have been
very
him then.
strong tap here, not punch, so he can control the ball to the running rover, Nathan Burke.
Maybe
Here we
the
see
ball,
Wynd and
they
Clark
had
contesting
deflated it or
on the
something.
wing half forward area. Both
Well, I
using
would
the
like
same
to know when the
technique,
last time St
but
Kilda
Wynd
won.
gets
So I
better
remember
from
reading
position
somewhere that it was
and is able
ages
to make
ago.
full use
It was
of
back
his
when
ruck
Tony
skills.
Lockett was still
Notice
playing.
how Clark has to go right around
Might
him
have been before then.
and
Really?
wind, makes good position, then high knee lift, full arm extension, strong tap
1966.
to a running player who's clear
The only time they've ever won.
is heading their
Ooh.
way.
Notice how that Scott Wynd is taken front
Anzac
position,
Cups don't count.
and Matthew Clark doesn't get anywhere near the ball.
Absolutely not.
He gets a free tap at it and hits it long to his running rover in Brad Johnson.
Now we've seen all the drills for body work and for
So
leading.
given how
Now
long
we've
they've
got
been in
to
the
go for a few
competition,
drills
they're
that'd be great
possibly
at
the
home
least
or at
successful
What was that
side.
to use
up
for his
thing that I found
future palming
an
for
ad
his
for?
Here's an example of a good tapping drill where the ruckman
And
uses
so-
both
oh, the-
hands, hitting to all angles.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Set
Yeah.
the small rover, throw the ball to the ruckman, and he taps it to the second guy.
Was it the
After he's
Anzac
thrown
Cup?
it
No.
back,
No,
moves to
we've got
another
plenty of
half
Anzac
circle.
Cup stuff.
The ruckman uses
Panasonic
one
Cup.
hand
Yeah.
to
89.
around the
Yeah,
circle
I looked
and
that
uses
up.
his other hand
Apparently,
on the way
they
back.
did one
It's a
for
very good
AFL
drill
and for
practicing
rugby.
tapping to
Ooh.
all angles.
Well, I don't have that. I just have
There is a
that
drill
little
for
ad,
ruckmen
and
to
it
practice
goes,
their
and it's
palm.
even cut too.
Three
Yeah, it's probably a
ruckmen tap the
pre-season
ball
thing,
around the
right?
group
Yeah.
from all
Panasonic
angles.
Cup.
It's just
on the
whoever
game,
can
control.
be bothered
Fingers are
sponsoring. It's
spread,
probably the same
and this
cup.
assists
Yeah.
you in controlling the ball.
Different sponsors.
Even with two players, ruck skills can be practiced. One
89.
player throws the ball, ruckman taps it, and he moves to another position. I'm sure you've gained much from this video and the accompanying
Because it
manual.
was recorded
For
on
any
the
further
end of
information,
the
please contact the
88
Australian
tattoo.
Football Foundation.
Yeah, it's the
Good
pre-season
luck in the ruck.
competition. Good luck in the ruck.
Good luck in your ruck. Presented by Australian Football Federation. A Viewcast production.
You kids.
They did a lot of the things.
Yeah, you definitely need both to play Aussie rules.
Both legs.
Both legs and arms. You need both. Like
You
you,
need both legs.
I mean, not necessarily. I'm sure they have like some kind of, you know.
Called a blade. I'm sure someone would be great with a blade on.
It would depend. It would be very situational.
Yeah. I don't know. That was interesting. So the next tape I got queued up. Probably moving to. There's another Viewcast production.
Hey, what are we learning about now?
This is another motivational.
Oh, cool.
This is one of the things they played at the All Australian Awards. So they took this to the awards ceremony and played it for everybody who was sitting around drinking beers and having dinner with their wives as they hand out awards.
Probably just before the grand final, so they weren't allowed.
The 5th of
to
May,
actually drink.
1995. So
Oh no, so that's early.
yeah. So what this video is some dude reading poetry over the top of kids licking ice cream and playing football.
Oh, okay.
It's meant to get you in the mood.
How many of those kids do you think ended up playing in the AFL?
You can tell me because I don't recognize anybody because I don't watch.
They're kids, and how the fuck would I recognize them? I don't know them by face. I just hear the name sometimes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember hearing about that player once.
Well, then I have no idea.
It's like when they say, hey, Wayne Carey, it's like, oh, he's the guy who banged his teammate's missus.
You know that thing that we put up is not anywhere else.
What, the interview?
Yeah.
Mm.
'Cause
I
it was-
remember that. I remember they made a huge deal about that interview.
Yeah, because it was exclusive and it was only on Foxtel, which you had to pay for.
Mm. There was... Wait, is it the one where they have the guy whose wife he fucked on
Mhm.
with him? Yeah. Because they played that up huge. They were like, they're finally coming face to face.
Oh wait, no, not that one. He was
No?
talking to some comedian about it.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, there was one where they actually got them in the same room and had them talk.
So
and it
that's
was
why ours
really
is
fucking
nowhere
awkward.
because that's more interesting.
Well, ours is probably from long before.
Yeah, just as it happened.
Yeah. And he got kicked off the team and
Time
sent
to
elsewhere.
relax. Remember those days.
It was the first you'd met me, the game. But oh, how you played for such a young fellow.
Yeah, kick that ball.
And as you grew, your dreams grew too. The roaring crowds were a part of you.
They're all
Then
there to see
came
this
the
kid.
gleaming sunlit days when the backyard blues.
That kid's not having a good day. He was crying.
He's got ice cream.
Yeah,
By
yeah.
then, we had been friends for many years.
Yeah.
So you turned to me to find a way. And there were things I demanded from you.
Ugh.
For in that summer sun furnace, you worked as hard as you had ever worked before. The steel in you lifted, strained, and melted. And through it all, you
There's
swore.
Tony Lockett.
You fell to earth exhausted, but rose again to battle your mind, your body, and your soul. You knew that this had played no part in those long-gone boyhood dreams. Finally, there came the day when
Billy.
you raced out to claim the glory you thought you had earned.
Big man. Big old Billy.
He is now, yeah.
And oh,
He always
how
was. If you
well
watch any
when
matches
I
that he's
said
in,
there's still a
he's
lot
like
more to
way
learn.
bigger than everybody else. Like he's
Okay.
just a chunker.
Okay.
He was probably the last of his kind, really. The sort of 80s,
While some learn
you know,
instinct
big
and
man.
action,
Anyone can play football,
still
sort of
others
thing where
learn
everyone's
to be
got,
men.
you know, athleticism these days.
Every time
Yeah,
one
yeah. Now there's all the
comes
sports science involved,
back
where
again.
you know there are strict
I thought
regimes
you'd
and shit you
discipline
have to stick
and
to.
working with others on your team. And you admitted
And
that
it's a much
there
quicker
is
game.
smile.
So like,
It's not
if
as
you were
easy
if
as
you
you
had too
say.
much weight,
There's Carey.
you might be a bit slow.
But slowly you learned the uses of that body we had trained. You learned to mark and kick and balk and go for that extra percentage to be gained. I made you pay for the dreams you dreamed over the years. I extracted a toll you had to pay in blood, sweat, and tears. I took the measure of your soul, the measure of your heart. As you went crashing down or head on where walls wouldn't part, I stole victory from your fingers reached by margins so slim it was a pity. And
Oh,
often,
God.
because of capricious whim, I stole your dignity. Yes, I
Loser.
demanded much from you. But I gave much.
Guy on the left was Geelong's premiership winning coach.
I gave you a chance to leap
2007.
and fly with wings on your feet.
10 years before that. That was the
A place
97
to
Premier League.
stampede and revel in the feeling you couldn't be beat.
Foster's signs everywhere.
Ew.
I gave you a showcase for your grace.
There's enough water in my water, thanks.
A place where a leap or flick of your hand caused a gasp and a roar from the crowd. A place where in victory or defeat, your emotions were allowed.
Yeah.
A place where in
Well done,
victory or
son.
defeat, you held your head up proud. I gave you a place where men like yourself battled towards the same ends.
Gary. Gary.
Men who thought others
Senior.
with the same gut toughness.
He was a
walked on the
junkie.
field as friends.
Yeah.
And I think in the end,
And of course the Cats coach had
I
nothing
made
to do
you
with his
a
hookup
better
with his doctor who got him the steroids or whatever.
What?
I don't know.
in the
That was
end,
Essendon.
Oh.
You made me a bigger and better game.
Made me bigger.
Which, funnily enough, was the same coach that I mentioned before. Had
Oh.
well, he worked with that guy, I think. James Hurd was the actual coach. I think Thompson was there too.
Or at least that's what James heard.
Ah. At the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Another quick one.
Oh, yeah. Told you I'd bring you little ones because I brought you a big one.
Yeah, that last episode. Yeah. Just. Yeah.
Why did I walk over here? Why did I do this? Like, I'm not even. I don't have the other tape.
You weren't ready.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Alright. Have we all settled in? Because this is the last one.
Oh, okay.
So this one is AFL Films tape, Laws of the Game. Decision tape. This is actually not for football.
Oh?
This is an umpiring tape to teach you how to be umpire.
Oh, we can be umpires.
Yeah, this one is that big tape. It's the 19-minute one. So yeah,
That's longer than their other three combined.
yeah. Also, short episode today.
Short episode today. We need a rest.
That's right.
Even though we had one last week, it wasn't really a rest.
We need an active rest
Yeah.
to make us
We
want to
need,
do
we
it
need
more
a
often.
palate cleanser. This has been a good one, actually.
I do like the This is something that we miss out on. This a lot of the stuff is we get really cool stickers on a lot of these tapes we got from Dennis Pagan. Like these are just for him, but yet they're printed on lovely things that say AFL on them.
Well, maybe so his wife doesn't find him and record over it.
With Oprah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Or fucking kids shows on ABC.
No, that was yours.
No, there was a few that had that.
Oh, I haven't gotten to them yet.
Well, they're probably out in the shed.
Oh, I want them. Eventually. Still going through mine, it's fine. You want to become famous?
You want to become fucking banned?
No.
AFL, as we approach season
Wait, please don't ban me.
would like to introduce you to an information tape which explains and clarifies some
2004.
aspects of the laws of Australian
Dang.
football. The tape is designed to give you a greater understanding of the laws and their interpretation.
The laws are much different now.
These examples.
This is the law.
The
Head
first
throat
segment on the
contact.
tape
This has definitely
is
changed.
head,
You
throat
should not
contact,
put your head
which comes
in
under
someone
the
else's
heading of
throat.
high contact.
Eye
The
contact.
rule states a player who makes prohibited contact with any
Crazy
part of his
Jones?
body above
That's
the
that phone
shoulders
place, yeah?
Yeah.
shall be penalised. essence
They're a
of the
lot
rule
harsher on it
states
now.
this: any grabbing or pushing to the throat will be deemed to be illegal contact. That any contact to the face or head will also be deemed to be illegal contact.
Not just
regardless
illegal,
of the
but they will be
situation.
prosecuted and perhaps
this
sent to
example,
jail.
Brisbane Lion Jason Ackermanis receives high contact and then
High
retaliates against his opponent
contact.
with high contact. Therefore, the
High
free kick
contact.
is reversed. Any form of retaliation of an illegal nature will result in a reversal of the free kick.
High
The
contact,
next
head
segment
over the
shows
ball.
further examples of high contact, where players are in possession or attempting to gain possession of the football.
Gilligan's not happy. Not happy at all.
This bump by Melbourne's David Neitz to his opponent's head is
Yeah,
illegal.
that's nasty.
This
That's a
contact
report.
by Neatz's teammate Clint Bizzle to his opponent is also deemed to be illegal.
No, it's not. But look at this. That is just wanting the footy.
In another case, this bump to the head by David King is
Oh
illegal.
God!
His head almost came clear off.
He might be
In this
concussed.
situation,
They didn't care about concussions back here.
Green.
Chris Benoit had killed his family. Oh!
Contact initiated by Green.
There was also that NFL guy that donated his brain to science for him as well.
Sorry?
The NFL guy who got so screwed up at his later age, he donated his brain to science.
Oh, a bunch
for
of
it.
people are have
No, but
agreed already to.
There was one guy in particular that was like the first person to do it.
will be penalised by a free kick.
It happened around the same time.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then a couple years later, that football player in America killed his girlfriend and himself at like a training ground or something.
As we see in these other
Yeah.
examples, once a player has possession by way of mark or a free kick, any contact by an opponent with their knees will result in a 50-metre penalty.
Excellent work, and Nathan Eagleman's hard running again as he gets a 50.
Colbert attacked it. Corns crunch. Crunched over the top.
Oh come on, dude.
Reckless or negligent use of the knees may result in a report.
Stop
This
lowering
segment
the
covers
boom.
holding the ball and the various components of this law. Prior opportunity is the first element to holding the ball.
Looping, Thornton to Lappin, gone! Holding the ball! Great chase, Medhurst! Said, I need to
An
do some
umpire
hard
will
stuff.
deem a player to have had prior opportunity to dispossess the ball, either with a kick or a handball, if he is tackled while in possession of the ball without immediately and legally disposing of the ball. An attempt to kick or handball in this circumstance is not acceptable. Time now to turn to diving on the ball.
It's contagious, as is the opposite, I guess. The pressure and the indecision, which has riddled Port Adelaide today. Bolton better get out of there or he's in trouble. And he probably should have known better.
Players who dive on the ball or drag the ball under their body, if tackled correctly, must immediately knock the ball clear.
And a free kick.
Failure to do so will result in a free kick being paid.
Get it to him, Sanderson. Well done, Philip Matera. Sanderson could add more time.
Mine,
Oh,
mine.
the ball. And Sanderson went and tucked it in underneath him.
Holding the ball.
Don't touch the ball.
Finally, let's turn to no prior opportunity, reasonable time.
What?
The last component relating to holding the ball is when a player has had no prior opportunity. However,
So basically, he's
there
grabbed
is reasonable
immediately.
time to dispose of the football when tackled legally. In this situation, an attempt to kick or handball is acceptable under the laws of the game. In these examples, the ball is not pinned to the player being tackled. So therefore, he must dispose or attempt to dispose of the ball.
Yes, he was. He's gone.
Oh no, I
He's
see.
gone. He's gone.
So that one penalised now. Matthews, who's done well on Pickett. Schneider man over the footy. Oh, he's gone for that.
The umpire believed he attempted to get rid of the ball
There
at
it
all.
is.
West has been important. He ran past Bassett, who goes for a bit of a circle. He's called holding the ball.
Plenty of time. Brogan the tap. Peter Burgoyne. Taken in a tackle. Umpire said you had a chance to get rid of it holding the ball. The ball comes back to Gallagher.
In
Marking
marking
contest.
contests, players who make the ball their sole objective will be protected. In
4 and
this case,
20.
Wayne Carey infringes Justin Leppich by making contact from the front, which prevents Leppich from contesting for the ball.
The flight
Yeah.
He kicks up towards Rocker. Was he interfered with? Yes, he was.
Here, Anthony Rocker is prevented from contesting the ball due to his access to the ball being blocked by Nathan Bassett. Bassett has no intention of contesting the ball.
Don't touch it.
In these next two cases, we see examples of players holding an opponent by the Guernsey or the body in a marking contest. This will result in
Not
a
time
free
yet.
kick.
Hayes to work in into Rewald. Used his body well, and there was some hanging on. And the Saints fans say, finally, we're going to get a free in front of goal as David beats him.
This segment covers ruck contests and the various components of this law. The first component relates to deliberate out of bounds. Any player
that was
who
a
knocks
fairly
the
new
ball
rule
out of
back
bounds
then.
on the full from a ruck contest will be penalised.
That was punched on the full, I think.
Bounce,
Yeah.
10 metres out then.
No.
Lakeland heads for the line.
Free kick.
Free
What?
kick.
Third man up, and it went over the line on the full from the...
Because that's metagame. We don't want any of that.
The next component regarding ruck contest infringements relates to
We just
illegal
learned about the
contact
ruck.
in ruck contest.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're going to learn
This
what
may be
not
in
to
the
do.
form of blocking,
Cool.
shepherding,
Let's not
or
get them
holding.
mixed up in our
Here
brain.
we see Matthew Primus using his arms to block his opponent from contesting the ball.
Primus pinged for holding Michael off, I think, with one hand while he palmed the ball with the other.
Here, Jamie Charman uses his leg to block his opponent from contesting
Oh,
the
just
ball.
kicked him right in the balls.
The
He
next
did a little
component of
ballet
ruck play
kick there.
relates to crossing the line. Ruckman
Oh,
are
no,
not
that's just
permitted
cross
to
the
cross
line.
until the umpire has bounced the ball. In this example, Steve McKee should have been penalised.
Last four of the game. McKee crossed the line then. My apologies.
This next component relates to players taking the ball out of the ruck.
First with 4
The
points.
player takes the ball out of the air at ruck contests and is legally tackled. He must correctly dispose of the ball immediately. Here Steve
Dispose
Alessio
of the
takes
ball.
possession of the ball, is not tackled, therefore
You can
permitted
find the
to
right
play
coloured
on.
bins at these entrances.
Wasn't tackled. Kicks inside the 50.
Slight variation.
Doesn't look like that
takes
guy there was
possession
just-
of the ball and is immediately tackled and immediately disposes of the ball. Play on. In
Play on.
contrast, Steve McKee takes the ball from the ruck and is tackled correctly. He does not immediately dispose of the ball, resulting in a free kick against him.
If you grab it out of the ruck or a throw in, it's deemed a prior opportunity and you are wide open to be gone.
He's going anyway.
must kick or handle, not attempt goal.
Trying to teach
Next, we turn
things.
our attention to the rule
Yeah, but he
regarding
held on the ball too long
deliberate
anyway.
out-of-bounds. When an umpire determines a deliberate out-of-bounds decision, he will take into account the following criteria. What is the player's intention?
I see.
What is the level of force of the kick or handball? What is the degree of pressure the player is under? Is there a teammate in the vicinity of where the ball crosses the boundary line? Here, Jonathan Hay, while under
Seems like
some
a hard
pressure,
job.
forcefully and intentionally kicks the ball over the boundary line. It should also be noted he had no teammates where the ball crossed the line. While under some pressure in this example, Peter Everett intentionally handballs the ball over the boundary line.
No question about this. Spider just handballing it over the line.
Jonathan Hay again, and this time, while under some pressure, forcefully kicks the ball
Always
over the
him?
boundary line.
That's always it's a
Poor Chet.
Yeah,
Oh.
this was a fairly new rule.
No
They used to,
teammates
I'm
where
pretty
the
sure
ball
like in
crossed
the
the line.
90s they could just chuck it out whenever they really wanted.
Jason
It was, yeah,
Saddington
taking
here is
advantage
under
of-
some pressure. As he handballs in the direction of a teammate who is near the boundary line. Even though the ball goes out of bounds, this does not meet the criteria for deliberate out of bounds.
Did he go deliberately for the line?
Keeping the ball in motion. The following examples are of players making every attempt to keep the ball in play, even though they are under pressure. And
Get
in
a
close
fucking
proximity
footy
to the
cunt?
boundary
Oh,
line.
yeah?
So he kicks it inside. That's great play. Sensational stuff from
They're learning how not to play football.
Yeah, we're learning what the umpires are looking for when they're going to penalise you.
Here's Archer under
I don't
pressure.
want to be penalised.
Well, the boundary line went out. No, Anthony
Pick
Stevens,
it.
an even better result for the Roos. And he bangs it
Oh.
along the line up to the wing.
They'll swing it to that outer side. And
Wait, what are we looking for here?
I don't even know.
Keeping the ball in motion. Is that bad or good?
I'm confused here.
I'm confused on that jersey. Who's that?
Fremantle.
Oh, they changed from the purple?
That's their away colours.
Oh, when they're not in Fremantle. What? Illegal shepherding.
Illegal blocking and shepherding.
Let's watch for McGregor.
We just see there at the back of the screen.
Yeah.
McGregor really didn't have eyes on the ball.
If you're about to get caught for illegal shepherding, you should probably jump in that billabong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. Back when North were actually good. This is probably just after that.
Just after Pagan
This
took over.
Yeah, this is, well, yeah, probably just before Pagan left, I think. I don't know, what year did Pagan leave?
Just wondering whether if you can't break the tag on Pagan that you
I have
don't
no
stick him
idea.
on Rewald, who's also playing on the wing.
Staker, well done. Goes out wide.
Next, we turn our attention to the rules relating to 50-metre penalties, specifically late contact in marking contests, encroaching into the 5-metre protected area, and time wasting.
It's 50 against Chris Scott.
First up, we see Chris Scott make late contact with his opponent.
202.
Next, Mark Graham encroaches into the 5-metre protected area. When he
2002 he swapped over. What did this say?
Sorry?
He swapped over 2002. What did this say? 2003,
I think.
4? Yeah, it's
Here,
this
Adam
stuff.
Schneider punches the ball over the fence when the ball had clearly been kicked out of bounds on the full. This is an example of time wasting.
Oh, right into the audience.
Disgraceful.
They didn't even have their catcher's mitts out for it.
Other free kicks.
Other free, they're just
This section is to clarify some unusual free kicks.
Unusual.
Example 1 relates to a player refusing to follow an umpire's direction. Kent Kingsley does not conform with the umpire's instructions when directed to move around on his mark.
Umpire saying, come on, another 5 or 6 metres.
I'm gonna beat
Player
you up.
refuses to obey the instructions of an umpire in any situation, a free kick may be paid. In this circumstance, the ball has clearly gone over the boundary line.
Oh, this video is 04, but the examples could be from the late 90s all the way up. This is a coaching video for referees.
This example relates to an official interfering with play.
So we're just seeing clips from all around the place.
This trainer interferes with an opposition player.
Pretty much that.
resulting in a free kick being awarded.
Chris Kiley would be absolutely livid at that trainer, just not having any awareness of what's going on.
This free kick is for contact being made to a
This is
player
the tape we're
after
watching.
he has disposed of the ball.
I don't know if you can see.
It'll be a downfielder.
And there's Steve Alessio pleading his case with the umpire, but a free kick downfield because he can.
It's called Decision Tape. It's an X tape from Dennis Pagan's actual collection.
The following
He's
examples
fished out of
relate
his
to
trash
charge.
bin.
Pretty much.
Charge is an act of
Oh!
colliding with an opposition player, where the amount of physical force used
Bang.
is unreasonable
Bang.
or unnecessary in the circumstance.
Laws of the game. Yeah.
He didn't take a long time. He wants Wilson.
Oh!
Third one got in his way. Free kick, Troy Wilson.
Free kick. Check on him, Jesus.
Rough play.
Rough play is
Rough play
okay
is
as long
an
as you
act where a
both
player
like
engages in
consent.
an action which
Well,
is
that's ice
unreasonable.
hockey.
Here, Ian Prendergast's
Pretty
actions
much.
are
We got it off somebody.
Oh,
We got it off
fuck.
Dennis Pagan.
Yeah, one of the tapes even had a note directly for Dennis Pagan in it, so... Jesus!
Yeah, the Ruck Work tape we just watched before has a tape that says, Dennis, a copy of the Ruck Work video is discussed. And it's on the back of Kevin Sheen's business card.
The following situation
talent
relates
manager.
to start of games.
Yeah, we have
Two
about
scenarios
300 of
which
these
can be
tapes.
used to
Some of them have been
Going
taped
through.
over, unfortunately.
By his wife, she taped Oprah on them.
Yeah.
Unless Dennis was into
And
it.
some of them are taped over with other games as well. which is
Yeah.
weird.
What will the umpire do? Will he start the game? He does. The umpire's going to bounce the ball, and no one's in the centre as players rush back in. Scott McGregor. What a good move it was.
That's awesome. The umpire's like, no, fuck you guys.
Results in the umpire paying a free kick before the ball is bounced.
The umpires come in. There might be a free kick before the opening bounce, and we're away.
In this situation, the free kick will be awarded in the centre of the ground or where the infringement occurred, depending on which is the greatest advantage for the team infringed against.
We'll start with a free kick to Ben Cousins. The Eagles went
Ben Cousins, now that's a guy.
Section clarifies a series
Oh
of
man,
set kicks.
he's been in all kinds of law.
Here, Barry Hall has
trouble
been
with the
awarded a
law.
free kick.
Yeah.
Requires him to take
He's
his
a
kick
one
outside
hell of a
the boundary.
junkie.
When Hall is
Fighting
directed to
allowed in
play
footy
on
like
by the
ice
umpire,
hockey.
he may
Although
still dispose
you'd have
of
to
the
go
ball
to some
in
sort of
The
outlaw
problem
games
is,
for that.
you'd have motherfuckers like Barry Hall come in and just murder people.
For a boundary throw. It should be noted that Hall still has the opportunity to bring the ball
Oh,
back
speaking of
into
Hall,
play,
that's him.
even though the umpire has called play on. This scenario shows the option Alistair Lynch took in relation to a kick near the goalpost, whilst taking advantage of the 5-metre protected area. This
You probably want to go to
circumstance can only
VFL
arise
to
in
be
this
able to see
area
some of
the
that. They
ground.
wouldn't have as many
The player on
umpires
the mark
around to
cannot
break it up.
encroach over the mark until the umpire calls play on.
We've got a couple of those tapes. They're not that interesting. Not yet. We'll keep looking.
A player bringing the ball back into play after a behind must have 1 foot behind any of the lines which define the goal square.
Over the line, we'll have a bounce at the top of the goal square for Hawthorn. Well, that's a cardinal sin. Shouldn't happen.
Yeah, he was a very, very fucking good
These
player,
are clarifications of incidents in general
but he was
play.
very
The
fucked
player
up.
has possession of the ball, and any part of his body makes contact with any of the scoring posts. Providing the ball does not touch the posts or cross the scoring line, play shall continue. In
Oh,
these
is it
examples,
okay to do that?
players have made contact
guess
with the
so.
post
Oh,
whilst in
fuck it, learn
possession
how
of
to
the
do
ball.
backflips off it.
They are entitled to play on.
All clear a goal. No problem with that one at all. As long as you're not swinging off the post, which is
I want to see someone run up it, do a backflip, and then kick a goal.
Yeah, that would
This
be
section
cool.
Like
relates to
over
umpire
somebody who's
contact
chasing him, and then
and
the other
abuse.
person just goes smack into the
Following a
ball.
forum in relation to umpire contact, the positioning of umpires has been modified. And now umpires would not be positioned as per the following examples. All
As
players have a
per.
duty of care to use best endeavours to avoid contact with umpires. The
Umpire
AFL
abuse.
has introduced
This will
a
be fun.
zero tolerance policy in relation to the abuse of umpires, where a player directly verbally abuses an umpire,
You blind white bastard.
penalty or report will result.
You swore 3 times. You disputed the decision 3 times.
What's that? Well, you're going to give me a warning?
No, I don't have to put up with the cheap shot.
Cheap shot. AFL umpiring department. Is that the end of the
I think
tape?
that might be the end of the tape.
Oh, we got someone who actually cares about football, and you want to watch the motivational again?
We can watch the motivation.
Alright, so as we said, this is the motivational tape that Dennis would have taken in to show his boys before a game to get them pumped up. Round 20 versus Adelaide.
What year?
We would have looked that up at one point. 95.
95. There we go.
1995, 24th of October, round 20 versus Adelaide. When this would have been taken in.
Well, the tape only goes for about 5 minutes, so
It's going to take longer to rewind the other one.
yeah. Scarecrow and Sun takes the longest time. Yeah, sure, we'll take it.
What's that?
100%. I'm being offered a VCR.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
100%.
Always.
The answer is an emphatic yes on that.
Where are you from?
He lives
I'll
around
get
the
it.
corner
Oh, yeah.
for now. I'll hit you up later this week about doing that stream, by the way, Halo Mayo. We'll get that going. I'll have to figure out how it's going to work. Motivational. Let's get motivated to do the rest of our day. And any tapes.
Kangaroos.
Nee.
Who are they all hailing?
Taxi. Yeah, for sure. Is it this month you're leaving, or is it next?
Simpson was the spoiler straight down to Stevens. Stevens into one goal.
This is Shane Wakeland.
We gotta get with Ben as well. Hang out. Next month, okay. 29. So we'll definitely get. We'll at least get the stream in place. I don't know what Ben's schedule is like. Yeah, this is a pre-controversy theory.
Yeah. Just. Now, whenever we do an episode where we watch one of the videos twice, we've had a good episode.
I mean, who knows if it was actually that good of an episode? A big part of it is probably us just being like, it's not that guy. It doesn't go for 3 fucking hours and it's not that asshole.
I don't care whatever anybody watching thinks. I thought this is all about me and my enjoyment. You know that.
Oh yeah, I get it. But that's probably part of the reason why I'm enjoying it too. Because I'm like, this is just so palatable. I like sport, honestly. I may not seem like the kind of person who would, but I enjoy sports.
I like to be entertained.
I can't wait until the next Premier League season starts, and I can go to the gym at like 2 o'clock in the morning and just watch a game on the treadmill.
Do I do that for you, or you do it yourself?
I'll explore their treadmill options. They might have a connection. I don't know. Would be nice, but I don't think so. How muddy it is!
Places I used to go used to have like 5 TVs up with different channels going, and you just tune into the radio station and watch that TV.
Yeah. The treadmills actually had their own TVs on them. That's
Weird.
yeah. Bluetooth with it set in.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is back when North were insane. Well, maybe El Mayor sometime, when you're just visiting, because you did mention you'd be back in this somewhat often. We'll go to a match. I love going to matches.
I want to take you to go see the baseball match coming into that one.
I like baseball.
Because we want to see Geelong's very baseball team. Geelong Korea.
Yeah, I love that that's what the team was called, Geelong Korea. That's so amazing. And if you look at the roster, again, it's like there's 3 Aussies and the rest are Koreans. It's amazing. Your bro's a big North support, fuck yeah. I'm like, I would consider myself like a loose Geelong supporter in that I don't actually care.
Oh, not as in you sleep around.
I mean, I watch a game and I'll pick a team that I want to win. So, I mean, I guess I technically cheat on Geelong. Oh yeah, nice butt rub. Give him a nice, good old butt rub there.
I like how the butt rub was the pinnacle, the closing scene. That's
all baseball good for anything. Yeah, man. I'll even go sit through a cricket match. Like, I don't even care. I enjoy sport.
Be there for a few days.
Yeah, I like the 2020 matches because they go for a couple hours and they're done. The one thing I don't like about him is that there's always some fuckwit throwing beach balls around.
I actually
And it's like, look, if I'm here for 5 days, I can understand getting bored and throwing a beach ball around. The game goes for 2 hours. Watch the fucking game.
I sat and watched the women's cricket.
Oh, I watch the women's Super League, which is like the
Super
Premier
League. Is that where they play football and cricket and
that would
hockey
be
at the
cool.
same time?
That would be rad. But
Or
no,
like a best of three? Same team?
It's basically the women's equivalent of the English Premier League. I watch that I would probably watch more of that than I do the actual Premier League. Mainly because it's on at a more convenient time. Usually, like Chelsea's matches
And
are always
because they bring it
way
home
more
more often
convenient.
too.
At the moment, they are winning a lot more.
Yeah.
But if the men's matches were at better times, then yeah, man, I would happily watch. But because it's all on off the sport, I'm like, fuck yeah. And sometimes they have like other leagues on and just like random matches. And I'm like, all right, I'll watch that. But I watch a lot of sport, considering, I probably shouldn't. I'm not that kind of person. Like, you wouldn't pick me as the sort of person to.
Whatever. You enjoy what you enjoy, as long as you're not hurting anyone.
And I watch a lot of wrestling. A lot of wrestling.
Yeah, you've been watching the Super Juniors.
God no.
I have.
I watch MLW.
I pretend to watch New Japan.
I watch Impact sometimes. I definitely watch AEW.
Are you watching that thing where they're having the brackets from the Rumble on Impact?
I haven't caught up in a little bit, so
Okay.
no.
That's what's going on. Anyway, do you have any kind of requests for next week?
Is Chris not down next week, or is that the week after?
Week after. Next week. If you got no other ideas, I'm bringing a selection of short medical tapes.
Okay, medical tapes.
Make sure they don't have boobies or too much blood.
Are they gonna talk about Are they gonna talk about all kinds of crazy fucked up stuff like in the first one? What was that word?
Which one? The Ninja Coco?
No,
Is it down
there was one that I triggered you by pronouncing wrong. Right, LMAO. I'll hit you up on Facey.
Cardiac dysrhythmias. Yeah, it's because they're American. They pronounce something weird.
No, I was purposely pronouncing something completely wrong.
Yeah, but I think it's from that video. From cardiac.
Yeah, it would have been.
Identifying cardiac dysrhythmias. That's the one with the guy waking up and the boobs.
Yeah, it was definitely that one.
And too much paperwork at the end.
It was a trial.
Atrial.
A trial.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, it's from identifying cardiac dysrhythmias.
Yeah.
I have a little bit too much space in my brain for the shit that we're watching, I think. I can just recall that that's where it's from. All right. Anyway.
Nice short episode today.
Should
Just
be
over an
around the same kind of length next week, depending on all the little medical tapes. Oh, there's one about toxic shock syndrome. I think that's
Ooh,
going
that's gonna be
straight
nasty.
in the pile of checking it out to see.
Yeah,
if I
you have
watch
to
it.
you have to check that
because
one.
it might have vaginas in it
It could have a lot of gore in it too.
and fajitas.
It could be very nasty.
What's the level of gore we can do on this anyway?
I don't know.
Because I got a pig hunting video.
I don't know. I mean, we can. I'm happy to test the waters and see.
Test it with medical before I go full pig hunting, because that thing, I got that just the other day and I looked at it, I'm like, God.
Yeah, we definitely need to find a way to do After Dark.
Oh, I just do it on YouTube. YouTube don't.
Yeah, but we have the porn.
All right.
We need to do the porn episodes.
We'll just film them and then put them somewhere.
Yeah.
Or I can edit like the actual porn.
Just blur them.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Film it, blur it, put it up. Yeah. You see something blurry, it's terrible. Just assume we're having a bad time.
Yeah. Or a really good time.
Yeah.
Anything you want to mention before we
I just did.
cut the shit?
Oh, unless
Anything
you
else?
want to plug the fact that the copyright machine is churning shit out at a
Oh yeah, the copyright
pretty good
machine
rate now.
on YouTube is.
Re-putting up all of our old stuff, cutting out all the bumpers so that they're separate, because people are into that. They're also into credits. I'm not going into that far. I've been chucking up some news and some ads from 1997 at the moment. I've just put up some stuff from 1989 to be queued up later this month.
Yeah.
Going through stuff, seeing if I can find some stuff. Might compile some interesting stuff to show you one day when I get like an hour's worth.
Sounds fun.
That's it. You want to plug anything?
No, assuming nothing bad happens, I might stream this weekend.
Load up the XP machine.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's actually Windows 95.
Oh. 3.1 machine.
I thought about that, but it doesn't look quite as nice.
And 95 is aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. Even if it's clearly dated, it still looks kind of...
It also fits in with the fact that you've got your face on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go 3.1, that stuff never existed without being super blocky. Alright.
Okay. On that note, we're gonna get on out of here.
Yeah, so long from the static.
Good night, everybody.